So this week I'm doing this play slash show. Uh, I don't know how to describe it, but it is a play, but we're filming it in a studio with no audience, and it's gonna be broadcasted live. So that's the situation, and I only have basically 3 days to prepare the sound stuff. That's the rehearsal days. Then we have 2 days to actually broadcast it. So we are running 3 cameras. They've numbered the cameras differently from what it would normally be, but I don't really care. So our center camera, which is the wide angle and the stationary, is camera 1. And then camera left, we have camera 2. And then right camera is camera 3. And camera 2 and 3 is going to be the one that's going to be moving left and right with the camera operator. Camera 1 is just going to stay still. So rehearsals happened. I loved up 4 of the actors here, and that was a terrible solution because it's a lot of RF pollution in the studio, and I wasn't able to get good sound from them. There was a lot of blockage and a lot of RF interference in general, so I decided to do something different.
I've got an NT5 there. I've got NTG1 there. I've got Sennheiser MKH40 or the 50, either one. I think it's the 40. And then this is the Rycote HC22 here. So most of the talking is gonna be revolved around that area. The couch and table's gonna be moved there. And then some of the scenes, they actually talk over there by the bookshelf. And so a lot of scenes, like, it deals with the laundry, so they're gonna be like there in that general area. And we actually have some scenes that are like around here. So that's why I'm kind of pointing this like that way a little, just to try to get something. It might capture that. I just thought of that now, but you know, we'll see. Maybe I'll like reposition it a little better. Who knows? But yeah. So I'm gonna cable up this, send up this truss here. I'm just gotta go at an angle so I don't need to use so much XLR. And those cables on there are the ones I've already ran. So here's the final results. We have 4 cables. They're all labeled on the specific mic. And it's running up here through all that into here. It's kind of hard to see. I'll try to point it out. So here we are. NTG1, NT5, and then here the green cable, that is the MKH40, probably the 50. I think it's the 40. And then that is the Rycote RC22. And so I'm just pointing in this area, general area. I might change it a little bit, but I think I put it too close to the light and it might be picking up the fan. So we'll see. That is picking up this area where the table is, kind of. NTG1 is picking up kind of this area as best as we can. And then NT5 is picking up right here where the green marks are. And here's the set. So this is a laundry room set. This is a play slash, yeah, it's a play, but it's being filmed and broadcasted live at the same time. So it's quite a challenge. And this studio, which is the university studio, there's so much RF pollution here. So yesterday when we were doing rehearsals, I kept getting like cutouts and, you know, static, everything. So I was forced to go and grab the 411As again. I was trying to avoid these just because, you know, the battery life on transmitters is a little small. But we should be able to like change battery, you know, between scenes or whatever. Maybe, we'll see. But I think I'm set. So today's another rehearsal day. and we'll see how well it goes.
All right, second rehearsals. I decided to hide 4 boom mics above them, and after the intermission, I decided to hide some lav mics in some like various parts of the set. But in the end, I actually decided not to use lav mics and just hide like 4 more mics. So the next day, I'm gonna set those up. Here we have another setup, MKH60 on the brick wall here. It's not real brick, it's just wallpaper, but that is pointing that direction. The cable is being sent to the side, gaff taped jankily onto the wall, and just sitting down to my mixer on the ground here. Here's another MKH60 as setup. It's being held by the boom, and it is right next to the washing machine, which a lot of the conversation happens as well. So I thought that's another important spot to hide. Here's another spot where I hide another mic. This is the Rode NT5. This is kind of picking up generic area by the sofa. And then I set up the NTG3 in the front. There's a few monologues that happen. It doesn't happen much, but then when they do happen, we can't hear them. So I set them up for whenever they stand there, we can hear it. So I was holding my boom pole. I have a Carlini clamp hooked to the pipe on the truss, and then I have a grip arm connected to that, and then I have a super clamp connected to the grip arm, and that is holding the boom pole itself, and the boom pole is holding the mic.
So I've used all 8 inputs. So what we have here is, I'll try to point out as best as I can. We have my Rode NTG3 here. That's going to input 1. And then, hard to see, there you go. This is the MKH40. That's input 2. Input 3 is the HT22, the same. I just put a windscreen over it. We have an MKH60 over here. And then it goes back to this one. I switched this mic with it used to be the NT5, which is now the Rycote HC15. And that's kind of more directional, so hopefully it can pick up better. Then I have the Rode NTG1 right here, kind of pointing that way. And then I actually have another MKH60 over here, pointing out here when they talk in this area. My last mic, NT5, right here. Kind of just picking up whatever we can here. There's not much dialogue where they look this direction. So that's kind of just gonna be there for whenever they're there. And the camera person's gonna be right in this area, so I'm trying not to block them too much. Or not block them, but not, try not to hear them from it. Because that's definitely gonna pick up their movements. Which we're gonna hear regardless because, you know, it's not isolated anymore in this area with the boom mics. So, yeah, hopefully things turn out good. I have a strong feeling this is gonna work out well. That one for sure. The HC22 worked out very well. This one kind of, you know, and hopefully that will work out very well. And hopefully this one works out very well. So, hope for the best. So those cables are all my XLRs, all 8 of them. I've just taped them just for so they will stay. They're traveling down. I put it behind this TV here so it doesn't dangle around, but here's the rat's nest here. And they all are very specific into the inputs where they go. So yeah, I took out my wireless receivers so I can put these in, and I'm using all 8 channels. Hopefully today it will sound great and we don't need to use any lavs because I run out of inputs anyways. I brought my wireless monitor system so I can actually monitor when the characters are in a certain space. So I put it right in front of my mixer here so I can mix properly instead of just turning my head, you know, and a cameraman here just moving around back and forth that might block me, which isn't that big of a deal, but it'd be easy if I just look forward. So signal is coming out from this camera, SDI in, and that's going to the monitor here. So I'm just going HDMI out of the monitor into my wireless transmitter here, the Highland Mars 300.
So instead of sending signal directly into the control room, I'm sending it wirelessly, like a camera hop. So it's sending out from the G4 here, and going into the receiver in the control room here on the other side of the G4 here. And that's connected right into the Focusrite audio interface. So they only have to worry about one input. Alright, final rehearsal day. I'm now mixing all 8 inputs into the mixer, and I'm actually mixing it like you usually would. I usually don't because I'm a one-man band and I can't mix while I'm booming the boom pole. Day of production and the live stream. I've changed my phone setup because I kept pressing the record button with my pinky as I was scrolling through the knobs. So I just hooked it up right next to the monitor, and I'll never touch it then, and I can still look at it through that. We're all ready and we're ready to go. So I'm ready. I have the 8 mics set up again, and I have to ultimately mix. Some of the inputs I put into the mic I would have changed a little bit better to make more sense, but I practiced it like that in the rehearsal, so I wasn't going to change it last minute. But overall, everything went perfectly, and I believe it turned out great. I think a lot of people watched the stream. The director is going to edit it and post it out the best version online for everyone to see.